changes. I think we're live, Hill.
Okay.
I think so. I can't be 100% sure,
we won't
but I think so.
Because we have a little delay.
Yeah, there's about a 20-second delay in what's happening. But you know, from what I can tell, I'm looking at on my multiple YouTube screens and everything else. We're live. I just got a message that says watch now, watch live.
There we go.
So we're all good. We're good. This is an experiment. So if anybody's watching and they want to give us some feedback, that would be great. You can text me. My number is 847-650-3282. I'm even going to put it in the comment section, because I don't care if people call me. I think that would be a great thing if they want to write in. And if you have a YouTube account or a Google account, you can actually just chat right along with us and ask any questions or jump into the conversation. This is lunch with social distancing. This is sitting at the lunch table, having conversations without germs.
Yes.
What are you eating, Hill?
I'm having a berry smoothie. It's like a blended berries, peanut butter, honey, almond milk,
Ooh.
chia seeds.
Ooh. I like that.
It's good. I've been getting fancy at home. I try to make all my meals look gourmet now because, you know, I kind of am like a housewife, although I'm working. So
So you're multitasking at home, making it work. You're making it work.
Yes, there's women at home working with children and like keeping clean houses and, you know, cooking great meals. So it kind of motivates me that I can't let them outdo me. All I have is a grown human who depends on me.
Well, and a dog.
And a dog.
Who y'all treat like a grown human.
Yes, we do. Like a child.
Yeah.
Even though he's about as big as me.
On all fours, he's got, or on his hind two, he's got to be taller than you at this point.
He's probably there. Yeah, he could be.
So funny, yesterday I was talking to Gracie and I was telling her that we were doing this and she was like, who is Hillary again? And I said, Hillary's the girl that stayed over here in the guest room. And she was like, oh, the short one.
Yep, that's me. All right,
so you
I'll
made
remember
an impact.
that.
You made an impact.
Uh-huh.
Kelly's joined us. My wife is watching.
Awesome. Yeah, if anybody's on, they should say hello in the text or chat so that we can know who's here. Yep.
So, you know, I think it's 11:32. We can go over what we think the rules to Chat and Chow are, right?
Yes.
And there's really one rule. We can talk about anything and everything. We can talk about manufacturing. We can talk about family. We can talk about anything. The only thing that we've made a rule against is negativity.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's enough of that going on. We just want pure positive energy and fun and, you know, laughs. Nobody wants to be brought down at lunch.
No. In general, we're just happy people. So we're not going to go outside of what we normally do, especially.
It's so much easier that way. So what's going on with your life? What's happening? Anything good?
Yeah. I would say probably the best thing that's going on for me right now is we used the stimulus money to pay for some of our honeymoon.
Yes.
So
how's that going? How's the wedding planning going? I mean, that's got to be not negativity, but a little bit of stress.
Actually, it's pretty good because we have a really great attitude. The most important thing is that we're getting married.
Yeah.
Nobody can take that from us.
Nope.
So whether the flowers are perfect and every little detail is perfect or not, we still get what we want out of the day.
Yeah.
So we've kind of just been chilling. We have like a running list. And if we don't have anything to do one night, we'll kind of be like, oh, let's work on that. Or and just kind of taking it slow. I'm sure a month before the wedding, I'll probably be have a much different attitude. But for right now, we're just kind of chilling, enjoying the process of planning and enjoying being engaged, because in just, I think it's about 4 months away now, we'll be married. So
Nice.
yeah.
You know, before we get too carried away, we should tell people that I'm Tony Demakis at Alliance Specialties and Laser Sales. We have, we have a podcast called the Manufacturing Alliance, and that's what we're doing here. And we're trying to inject the world with some positivity and just keep people light and entertained and informed and hope-filled. And you are Hillary Coombs from Westminster Tool.
Yes. And Westminster Tools, if you don't know us, we build plastic injection molds predominantly for the medical industry. We're located in northeastern Connecticut. And we are a young, dynamic, super awesome team.
Wicked awesome.
Yeah, and we're very well known for our culture. So if you haven't yet, take a look at who we are. But yeah.
Kelly says y'all could go get married in the courthouse, just like we did.
Honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. If for any reason our wedding is impacted, we will be still getting married at our beautiful venue alone. We don't care. Nice.
You know, you don't need all the people there. That's not what it's about.
Nope.
You know, you'll have you two, right? And then God, who is the ultimate important person to be there.
Exactly.
To bless the union. So, you know, what else do you need, really?
Yeah. I think luckily I am amidst a lot of people planning weddings. So I know not everybody has the same outlook, which is fine, but I'm actually really grateful for the way that we look at our wedding in this time, because it's going to happen no matter what anybody says.
I like that, because I know so many other people that are getting married and they're like, oh, my wedding's going to be canceled. And I'm like, just have it.
Yeah,
like,
no.
You can get married. You're just not going to be able to have, 200 people there right now. But you guys were going to go smaller at first anyways, right?
Yeah, we only have like 50 people going to our initial ceremony. And then we were going to have, that big party after. That's the key here, is the beauty is the most important thing for us getting married really had nothing to do with where and when. We just wanted to be outside.
Yeah.
We love the outdoors. We want ideally our, best friends and family there, but if not, we'd be totally okay just getting married, the two of us. So
that's what Kelly and I did. We had to go to her parents' house, and on the way to her parents' house, we went to the courthouse and got married. And there was nobody with us. There was nobody else there. And we got to her parents' house, and they were like, "What have you been up to?" And we're like, "We got married." Like, no, you didn't. We were like, "Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we
got
did.
married today. We got married.
Yeah.
We did it. So
yeah,
we're official. We're good."
Yeah, so I would say that's the biggest thing in my life, other than adjusting to working from home. Our sales and engineering team have gone remote. One, to support the state's, reduction of the spread and kind of the initiatives they're doing. But I think more importantly, it's a business decision to ensure that if for any reason somebody in our company did get sick, or we had to shut down or anything like that, our customer facing premium, we are guaranteed that we're going to be able to continue servicing our customers no matter what.
Yeah. And I like the other thing that you said was that it also guaranteed that if somebody got sick, you had an entire team that was clean, that could go in and do the cleaning and make sure that nothing else was continuing to be spread, because you had a whole team outside of the facility.
Yep. That was, so like, obviously, whatever the state says that we need to do, we want to support them. We want to keep our people healthy. So whatever their recommendations are, we're going to follow. But getting 13 of us out of the shop ensures, pending we're all staying home and following social distancing, which, I'm positive all of our employees are, but
of course,
it ensures that we have 13 people ready to step in if needed. So if we needed to shut the shop down for 3 days to do any cleaning, we could get in. If somebody got sick, we have a whole backup. We have cross training. We could get an engineer. There's no reason the engineer couldn't come in and polish help with shipping and receiving, hop on a CNC machine. There's no reason we can't all flex to make sure we keep, delivering to our customers whose needs have not stopped.
And that's where you guys are so unique. That's what I think is so cool now, because, for a long time people go, I don't get cross training. We want to have specialization, but now you're prepared in case something happens. You can just, next man up. That is so cool to me.
Yeah. And I think one of the coolest things that we've gotten is we hired somebody, they were supposed to be graduating in May from a business school in Rhode Island. And obviously he's not in school. So we've been able to start training him ahead of time, and we're doing it virtually. We're doing onboarding virtually. Everything is a bit different than we would normally, but we didn't let it stop us. And, for him, it's really awesome that in this time of uncertainty, we wanted him to look forward to what's next. We didn't want him to sit and live. So we just kicked it off early.
That's so great. I think the other thing that's cool is this time has given everybody an opportunity to grow and change their business and the way that they're doing things, right? So forever, we've wanted to put something in place for the girls in the office who have kids and other people. If they need to work from home for any extended period of time, we wanted to make that possible. But it kept getting put on the back burner because it wasn't important at the time. And then this came up, and we jumped, and we made sure that everybody that needed to be able to work from home could work from home. And now we're just in a position to succeed going forward. Because this happened, we were able to adapt and grow and change. Full Potential Movement. Hi, Hillary.
That is my friend Nick.
So if you're joining us and you're watching, let us know who you are and that you joined the lunch with us, and we'll give you a quick shout out and say hello, either on YouTube or just text in or whatever.
Yeah. So Nick Wagner, I was connected through my college roommate, actually. He mentors her. And he has a couple of really awesome things that he's working on. I just did recorded a podcast with him that'll be coming out about Innovate CT. And he talks a lot about education in the state of Connecticut. And then he also has a podcast called The Full Potential Movement. And he interviews other people kind of about how they're living into their full potential.
Oh, I want to talk with Nick.
Yes, he's so helpful. He's done a lot. He's connected me with a lot of really great people throughout this time. So, hey, Nick, thanks for joining.
Nick, let's do some cross promotion.
Yeah.
Keep the positivity going. So we got there. It looks like there's 10 people, 12 people watching. So that's good. It's actually more than I thought. It's more than I thought. So I would call that a win.
That's a win. It's a win.
So I know that you guys used to do the 5K, and you guys are big into fitness. What are you doing to stay in shape now?
Oh, thank you for that. So I would say my latest hobby as of quarantine is exercise.
Yeah.
So I would say, so I got a Peloton bike, Peloton, whatever.
You mean the commercial didn't turn you off, where it was, male bashing for buying his wife a trainer bike?
No, the day that Aaron agreed to buy the bike, I already was engaged, but then I said, I think I'll really marry you now. So I have been using that, and it's been really great. Aaron and I absolutely love it. But since I've been mostly doing cycling. Now that I have it here, they also have yoga, they have strength classes, they have outdoor running. But there's a lot of people on Instagram who do like live workout videos.
Okay.
And they're free. And so I don't want to spend money. We're budgeting for the wedding. So we have the Peloton, and that's my exercise, either that or get your tush outside and go for a run.
Yeah.
So this has been really awesome because I'm still doing that, but I'm working out about 2 to 3 times a day.
Oh, jealous. I'm so jealous.
So I get up, and my cousin, who's
your mom's here.
Oh, hey, Kim. Hey, Mom. Thanks for joining. So I get up. My cousin has a wedding this year. So we usually do a spin class in the morning together. And then on my lunch break, because this is my lunch, so I can make this and go back to my desk. So
Yeah,
before
cool.
I do that, I will do like a 15-30 minute live stream. There's a bunch of places in Boston that are doing like live stream, body weight workouts for lunch breaks, like 15 to 20 minute workouts. And then after work, there's a ton of yoga studios doing like 5-6 p.m. live stream yogas. So
Awesome.
I have gotten to try so many new studios out, and it's been really awesome. And I know I have a few friends who, they just do it by donation only. So you donate to them, anything to keep them open. They want to keep practicing and keep their following. And so, yes, I have been working out quite a bit.
Awesome. So here's a question I wanted to ask you. How has your church been growing?
Oh, okay. Gosh, there's so many positive things. I love all the questions.
I know, right? And that's because we've been talking about that, because there's more need for church right now. There's more need for God. There's more need for prayer. There's more need for hope now than there has been in a very long time.
Yes.
And it's so accessible.
Yes.
And you guys have Life Church, right? It's Life Point or Life
Point.
Okay.
And so basically, just a little background, Life Point Church is based out of Fredericksburg, Virginia, but they live stream every day, and they've been kind of growing their following. So they've been building, churches all around Virginia. They're opening one in Kentucky and Germany. And we started a watch party in Connecticut that has grown. And so hopefully we'll be getting a location in Connecticut.
But right now you're doing it you were doing it out of Westminster Part 2, right?
Yeah, our second facility, we just kind of get together there, and it's been really great. We have open space, and it's a secure facility, and so it's been really awesome. We've been growing. We've been kind of right when this all happened is when we were starting to drastically grow.
Right.
However, with it being digital, what it's doing is it's helping expose people to hearing a message virtually, which I think a lot of people were kind of turned off by when we were getting together is, it's not a church if you're just getting together at your house or you're streaming it. So it's been huge. More and more people are streaming, every weekend I share it, and there's more and more people starting to sit in and watch it. I'm not sure if you saw, there was like a document that shared the number of salvations on Easter this year. And,
nice.
I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but it was absolutely incredible to see. And I think I think a lot of people sometimes don't go to church because of convenience. We live in the day of convenience, and we're all experiencing that extremely right now, because staying home isn't bad. It's just inconvenient. Cooking meals every day isn't bad. It's just inconvenient.
Yeah.
Not having toilet paper.
That's bad. That's bad.
That's bad. It's also very inconvenient. So I think for one thing is when I was able to, what do you do on the weekends? You do what brings you value, what brings you joy. It has to add.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you do the yard work because you have to, but for the most part, most people aren't going to church because they don't see the value or the benefit that they're going to get from it. So now, from the comfort of your home, you can pick any type of service you want to listen to. They're all available virtually.
Yep.
And you can receive the message. And that's what's most important, is just reconnecting you to God and reconnecting you to a higher purpose, and, letting go and having faith in something more than just what you're seeing around you. And that's what I get out of going to church every weekend. But what I love is that everybody's getting to experience that now from home. And I think it's driving them to that reconnection that they didn't know that value existed. And also, for me, the church I go to now is very different than the church I went to growing up. So we're exposing more people to what church can look like.
Yeah, which is, just people being together, praising God, and realizing that Jesus is our way. So there's nothing wrong with any of that. I think it's so great. And I thought about you guys specifically because you're trying to grow that church, that this is like prime opportunity, because people can't say those things like, I'd rather be somewhere. You can't just watch it online. It's not the same. And I find that I almost get more out of it watching online, because you're not worried about the person coughing or sneezing 3 rows in front of you, or the kids talking behind you, or the person jumping around. You can just focus on your living room, your situation, your bedroom, wherever you're at, and you can invite everybody. They don't have to say, oh, it's too far away, I can't get there. So it's just, I think it's another positive thing that's coming out of all of this happening. And it's exciting. I mean, we're seeing incredible things with our church. We've ramped up our children's ministry program. We're doing stuff every Wednesday night for the kids. The youth building has upped their game for the junior high school kids. And everybody is just like rowing the same direction right now. Right.
Yes.
And getting on board with everything. And I just think it's a good thing.
Yes. And you know what I love is on Sundays when you scroll through your feeds, the amount of Jesus I'm seeing on my feed on Sundays now, which was not a thing. So, because it's a personal thing, everybody just does it. You're not, sharing it. But right now it's just right at your fingertips. You just be like, hey, come to church with me. Come watch church.
The other thing I think that's really encouraging is like just talking with mold builders, right? Like I've been talking with a lot of different mold builders, and this conversation comes up about fear and not being afraid, because my opinion, what I believe is the person that created everything created this as well. So he's not surprised.
Right.
He knows what's going on. He knows how to get us through it. We just have to have faith in that. And it's opening my eyes. And I think it's allowing other people to feel comfortable having that conversation where they would have kept all that to themselves. Like, I don't want to share my beliefs. I don't want to share my faith. Now everybody's open to sharing what they believe because it's encouraging other people.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that our church has been doing is using all the money that we raise every weekend just through giving or through tithing. And we're using that to give back to the people who need it. So we're sending coffees, like Starbucks gift cards, to nurses and things like that. And so normally if you wanted to be like, hey, come to church, like that's a whole conversation. Now it's a thank you card. Thank you for, working. This is from Life Point Church watch parties in Connecticut. And suddenly they're like, tell me more. And so, and that's the thing is, if you want to show people what your church really is right now, you just show them that it's an uplifting place that takes care of each other.
Yep. Your mother says this is way better than trolling through MSN during lunch. So we have that going for us.
That is the best comment. I really needed that. So thank you.
Yeah, totally.
Well, hopefully more people feel that way as well.
Yeah.
And they can watch that tomorrow.
What I got encouraged by is I was just telling people what we're going to do, like what Chat and Chow is in my vision, right? So many people are sitting by themselves at home, working from home, missing engagement, feeling lonely, feeling unnecessary. And this is just a way to reach out and have lunch with people and sit around the lunch table and talk and share things. And so I was telling people, industry friends, what I'm doing. They were like, oh, I want to do that.
I was just gonna say,
my
you
mother just tried calling me.
Oh, okay.
She may try and call again, but we'll see.
That's all right.
But all the people that I've told about this and given them the idea of it, not one person said, that's dumb. Why would you do that? And so, people from the plastics industry, people from manufacturing as a whole, Christina, people from banking, like there's so many people that want to share their positivity and be involved with this. And I just think it's great. I mean, I want to have you on a regular rotation because we can talk for hours. This could be like, I'm trying to watch the clock so we can be mindful of people's lunches, but
yes. So I had a question for you.
Yeah.
So one thing that I really want to talk about is keeping morale up at your company and in your family. So I think that you and I are positive people. So I think it's important to note kind of the role that you play either in your children's lives because they're watching you, or in your employees' lives because they're also watching you to, follow your lead and how to keep morale up.
Sure. So I think at work, we've continuously stayed positive. We've kept people informed on every single thing that we're doing along the way, right? We haven't hidden anything. We've been upfront and honest. We're not making false promises. We're saying, this is what we know, this is what we're doing, this is how we're moving forward. And that's what we're doing. There was 2 or 3 weeks where I was working from home. 2 weeks was after I went to San Francisco, and I thought it was important to self-quarantine myself because I had no idea what was what. So that was in the interest of everybody at work. And then I thought it was really important for me to come back and be in the office and show people that if I want you to be there, I have no problem being there myself. Mm-hmm. This is safe. We have a safe place. We have done a good job. We are taking care of people the best we can. I'm not going to go hide out in a bunker. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be working with you. I'm going to be there side by side with you. If you need anything, I'm right down the hall. Let me know what you need. And the same thing with our kids, right? Like, we're open and honest with our kids. We're going over everything. We're talking with them about things. We're doing things as a family. Mm-hmm. We're outside playing. We're sitting and watching movies together and TV together. And, we're not focusing on doom and gloom. We're talking about the positive stories. I was talking to somebody yesterday who told me that their 98-year-old grandfather 98-year-old grandfather just beat the disease. So it's not a death sentence. Being old is not a death sentence. I've heard of more people making it through this than mm-hmm. not. My uncle was diagnosed with COVID. He was in the hospital for 3 weeks. He was on a ventilator, and he's going home today. So it's awesome. It's not a death sentence. You can live through it. And we should be that beacon, right?
Yes.
What are you guys doing?
So my dad and I have divided and conquered. So he's staying in with the shop. And then just like you say, if you're going to be here, I'm going to be here. Our whole team wants to be in the office. Yeah. So, I'm here to show that, trust me, I want to be in the office and seeing people as well. I have not actually left foot from my house other than to go for a walk now in a week and a half. Before, I was I'd have to go into the shop and get something, but this has been a week and a half of these are the walls of my existence. Yeah. But with the work from home team, I've kind of taken that because it's a totally new ball game. And, we connect every single morning. We do Grateful Fridays, which we used to do in the shop. We're doing it virtually. And then we're a big family and we miss the heck out of each other. So we do a virtual happy hour on Friday. Last week we played trivia. The top 3 people got lunch on WT. We've got puzzles.
That's the benefit when you all work there.
Yeah. But we also have been giving out like puzzles and, trying to promote, that. And on one of the happy hours, everybody brought their pet, people brought their kids. So nice. We're trying our best. We're trying to support local companies. So we've got local, one of the employees' moms, she makes cleaning supplies. She makes all natural cleaning supplies, but she's kind of shifted into making hand sanitizers and sanitizing wipes. So purchasing from her. There's a local catering company we use, purchasing lunch from them. Another one of our employees' daughters is sewing masks. She's a teacher and a Pure Barre instructor. She's out of both jobs, so she's sewing these masks. So we're purchasing masks from her. So trying to support. Tell you what, go out and help somebody and it'll change your attitude. That immediately shifts how I feel.
100%. You got to get out of your own head and you're out of your own way. I mean, once you start looking at other people and trying to fill their needs,
yes,
and you see them smile, it has a chain reaction that makes you light up and smile and want to do that again. It's infectious.
Yes.
It's a positive infection.
It's a positive infection. Spread the positive infection.
Yeah, I like it.
Spread the vibes, the good vibes.
Not the virus, the vibes.
The vibes, the good vibes.
What else? What else we got? What else we want to talk about? How are you guys doing work related? Are you guys busy? Have
Oh,
you
yeah.
seen anything slow down?
I think we're definitely going to see some of the aerospace side.
Yep.
There's going to be an impact there.
Yep.
But luckily, we're diversified in the customers we service. A lot of our medical customers, that need is not going anywhere. So I would say it's a good balance. We're definitely going to be impacted. I would be lying if I said we weren't.
Sure.
We do have some employees who are at risk, who self-quarantined or isolated themselves. There's been a handful of things that have been thrown at us that's forcing us to operate at less than efficient. However, we are very blessed in the sense that most of our customers still have a need.
Yeah. And I think I was talking to your dad about it last week, and I said the same thing, that it's unfortunate that you're running less than efficient, but it's going to teach you things in the long run about how to maximize the people that are there and continue to be efficient. So again, I had this conversation with Chuck Klingler. I'll have it with everybody, that, your attitude is dependent on how you see things. You can't change your situation. You can change the way you react to it. So yeah, we're all running inefficiently right now, but we're doing the best that we can. And I think everybody is understanding at the same point. So customers are understanding, vendors are understanding, everybody's understanding that we're working together. And this is going to make us a better unified organization and industry as a whole.
Yeah.
My opinion, just my opinion. I am not a philosopher or a prophet or a soothsayer or anything. It's just what I think. It's what I believe.
I support that. We did get a question.
What is the biggest issue with efficiency you are currently facing? From Connor Carriganen. So I think, I'll answer that real quick. I think the biggest inefficiency that we have right now is continuing our communications properly with people, because it used to be every day one-on-one. And now it's a ton of Zoom meetings. It's a ton of emails and texts, and just keeping a clear, concise channel that's allowing everybody to stay on the same page and row in the same direction and move forward together. That's where I feel our biggest need is. And that's something that we've been trying to work on in the past.
Yes. I think we're going to get better at meetings. I like it. I know. Thank you, Connor, for telling us how to say her last name. I'd say for efficiency wise, our company is very, face-to-face.
Yep.
And I think that's similar. I think just by default, when you're a face-to-face company, you just get out of your chair to go talk about something. So by default, you think you can't accomplish the same thing by just picking up the phone. And so we've been kind of having to learn to adapt to, okay, could you schedule a meeting and prepare all the questions at once?
Right.
And so we've kind of been working through that. I think it'll be a positive thing, because I think while I love face-to-face interaction, I do think sometimes it can be overused to a sense where it might, affect your efficiencies in a negative way. It just depends. But I think in general, we're a really young team. And so that face-to-face interaction of like, let's just look at this, let's troubleshoot, let's work through it. We're not getting that. And so that's the biggest challenge we're having right now, efficiency wise.
Connor, are you having efficiency problems? Let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know if there's a problem that you're having, and maybe we might have a suggestion for you. I'm not saying we have all the right answers, but
yeah, it
never hurts to ask, right?
It never hurts to ask. And what would this lunch be if we weren't helping each other out?
That's right. That's right. That's my favorite thing too. I was talking with the Plastics a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we talked about how open and honest and inviting the plastics industry is as a whole, where I can call you, and even though we do work together from time to time, I can tell you the problems I'm having, and you're not going to hold it against me that my company is not worth working for or working with, right? So we're able to bounce those ideas off of each other and grow and learn and get better through all the situations, whether it's COVID or not being able to find employees or whatever it is. We're able to work through those things together. So I really value that and appreciate it. Totally.
Yeah. And I would say, like, right now as an industry, the manufacturing industry as a whole, holy moly, I've never been so grateful to have the colleagues
How
we
about
do.
it?
I mean, the AMBA, the stuff they've been putting together,
Yeah.
the stuff Plastics has been putting together, every single person is supporting each other. Companies are coming together to share ideas. You know, hey, I have no work. Does anybody have an overflow that I can help with? You know,
We're
hey, what are
shifting
you
our
saying to your
business to do
customers?
this.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so
Um,
great. And TMA, the National Association of Manufacturers, the Illinois Manufacturing Association, you know, I'm sure the ones in Connecticut, everybody is going through the same kind of stuff. What does Connor say? We're a software provider, document control and specs management. So we have always had policies in place for staying home and working remote when under the weather. Awesome.
yeah,
You guys are ahead of the game. That's sweet.
yeah. You're one of the companies that
we're trying to be like
transitioned into this and was like, yeah, we know how to work from home. You know, we just weren't in that position. But I do think both you and both Alliance and Westminster Tool now, if somebody is under the weather, they don't have to stay home and miss a day. We will be more prepared to be like,
That's right.
oh, your kid has a fever or you have a fever, but you're still feeling okay. Don't get everybody sick. Get this done.
That's right.
Or, you know, I'm thinking now about, you know, when people have families, if somebody needs to say, hey, can I take 3 days to go, you know, stay home with my wife and new baby, you know? So Connor says, we've been trying to help our existing client base by providing additional accessibility as we understand the difficulties of working remote. Our success is based on our clients being able to function as normal as possible. Amen.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough nut, right? Because you're working with people and their computers and their technical knowledge and everything else. Luckily, there's FaceTime, there's Zoom, there's all these other things which, you know, we've been utilizing for the last, I don't even know how long it's been anymore. You know, you lose track of days, but it's amazing to me how much you can get across with a FaceTime or a Zoom or a GoToMeeting or whatever it is, and walk people through things.
Yeah, I think you have the biggest thing that we've been trying to remember is that everybody's in the same situation. So when I call my customers to apologize, they're experiencing usually the same issues. So as long as you can own it and say, hey, this is what the status is, this is how I'm trying to work through it. For the most part, there's not one person who's completely unaffected. Maybe a company that everybody works remotely anyways. But even then, you know, somebody's being, either your supply chain or your customers are being impacted. A success story, if you want.
Yeah.
We have been troubleshooting a tool for one of our customers, just kind of like working through some troubleshooting in the validation phase. And right now, because normally the customer would drive out and be there with us when we're sampling, and they can't. So we were taking videos, but by the time the toolmaker records the video on their phone, transfers it to me, I save it to the thing, send it to them. It's got to go through a large secure share file thing. There's a lot of time in between. So we started using Microsoft Teams to FaceTime each other.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
And we purchased these headsets so the molder can have a headset on and hold the phone and talk through it. Then our customer can say, hey, can you adapt this in the process? We adapt it. We can show them what it looks like.
Yep.
And real time, we're having that. And so it took 2 weeks. And then once we did that, we'll never turn back. We just ordered more headsets for the shop floor. So now the shop floor can call one of us at home and share their screen and be like, hey, here's this design. What are you talking about there? Right. But because they didn't have headsets, it was tough to do that. So,
and again, it goes back to, this would probably, I don't want to speak for you, but it probably would still be on the back burner had this not come up.
Yes. And you know, even we have a lot of times we prefer to work with customers that are within driving distance, but not every customer can get out for a sampling. So that is a tool we can now use all the time when sampling or troubleshooting.
Yep. So just another way that I think the really good companies, the strong companies, are going to get even better because of this. And I think there will be some weak companies that close down because they don't want to change and evolve. Kylie wants to know if we're reading anything good right now.
I'm reading a phenomenal book that I want everybody to read.
What are you reading?
It's called Crash the Chatterbox.
Oh, yes, Stephen Furtick.
Yes. So I have
Also reading it.
Are you right now?
Yeah. Yeah. And Jack read it for school. So
oh my God.
he's got certain reading requirements that he's got to do. And he's got to be the only kid that has read, he read Greater by Stephen Furtick. He read Crash the Chatterbox by Stephen Furtick. I can't remember the other one. And a book by Craig Rochelle. So all his books are praise-based and growing in Christ. And that's what he's doing for school. So it's really exciting. So what do you like about Chatterbox?
So as somebody who I've always like overanalyzed everything. And I tend to spend more time thinking about things and kind of, especially when I'm stressed or operating at my like less than efficient zone, I tend to be anxious about what could go wrong. And especially in this time right now, you're trying to, maybe you want to make sure you stay out of that mindset. And so a friend of mine from church gave it to me. And I love the concept of, instead of being like, is that anxiety? I'm feeling anxious. It's just, is that the enemy or is that God speaking? Which one? Whose voice is it? It's so simple. And then the other concept of leaning in, I don't know how far you into it you are, but leaning in and just, what is the worst that happens? So if that customer pulls the order out, okay, what if? Let's go there. And just kind of going down that path versus, just like today, you and I could have been like, what if nobody shows up? Okay, what if?
Yeah. Worst case scenario, you and I get to have a conversation.
Right. And people can watch it later.
And if it's terrible and people don't like it, I don't care because it doesn't affect me. I'm good with that.
Right.
The other book was, it's called Unqualified. That's another Stephen Furtick book.
Okay.
That's a really good one too.
I thought your wife was calling you unqualified.
She already knows that. She knows that. But part of that book is I get all three of those kind of confused because they're all a good underlying message, but yeah, we're unqualified to do that. But God created us. He's not unqualified. And we are images of Christ, images of God. So by saying that I'm not qualified to do this podcast, to talk about positivity, to bring some energy, to invite you to talk, means God's not qualified. And is offensive, right?
Oh, so, okay. I'm very excited. I was just talking to my mentor from the Future Leaders in Plastics program. We were talking about how the joy I have right now of holding a book in my hands. I am so guilty of, not guilty. I listen to books. That's how I fit it into my life, is in my commute to and from work or on a walk, or, that's how I fit books into my life. So now with this extra time on my hand, on Sunday, I read about 70% of Crash the Chatterbox.
Ryan, sorry. My problem is my reading time was on planes.
Yeah, right.
So now I've lost my reading time. Well, Ryan Delahanty from Gardner Business Media, Mold Making Technology, all that stuff says, I'm late to Chow time. Have either of you picked up any new good habits during Corona time? I'm a pretty, as much as I like living in the ish, I am a pretty scheduled person, I think. I've pushed my morning workouts back from 5 to 6 because I don't have to go to the gym now. So 6 a.m. is workout time. No, I haven't picked up any new good habits. Maybe I'm scheduling things a little bit more because everything is Zoom meetings.
I think you are.
I actually have to be on time, and I'm being a little bit more forward thinking in that. Yeah. Productive or
no, proactive.
Proactive. Okay. I was like, I thought I was always productive.
No, I think I've personally seen your proactiveness because you and I texted about getting this together. And normally it would have been something and you'd have been like, we're doing this, let's do it tomorrow. But instead we had like 6 conversations about this.
Yeah.
And thinking about it, you sent me an invite for this 2 days ago,
So there you go, Ryan. I am being a little bit more less in the ish, if that makes any sense. Hill, anything? Any good new habits?
Well, but definitely that I'm working out more.
Yeah.
I do a meditation every day called 10 and Zen and 10.
Okay.
It's on the Peloton app, which, just for anybody wondering, the Peloton app is free for 90 days right now. And there's yoga, meditation, strength training, body weight, outdoor running. Try it out. And then another, did you see Ryan's response?
Man.
You're getting enough sleep now.
That I'm not. I mean, I want to hear I'll answer that in a second, but go ahead. Finish.
I think the other positive thing that I've picked up is cook. I don't know if it's a habit, but it's a skill. I was pretty like boring with my cooking. And I'm going to be a wife soon, so I guess I should learn to cook a bit better.
Oh, that's a bit. I'm not saying that. That's a woman that said that. That is not a man that said that. I do not endorse that statement.
Aaron loves whatever I cook, but I have always felt a little bad because I'm pretty bland. I have like my standards. I don't get too creative. However, we've been limiting how much we go to the grocery store, and the grocery store doesn't have everything I want readily available now. So I probably am like trying a new recipe, and I don't cook with a recipe. I look at the ingredients and then I make it up how I want.
Yeah.
So I have done probably 3 or 4 new recipes a week right now.
Awesome.
So yes, so that's something positive that I've picked up on in the time.
So I've actually gotten less sleep than I'm used to because Jack, my son, who's 14, used to go to bed at a reasonable time, but now because they have e-learning and he's done so quickly, he stays up later with us, and we don't go watch TV in separate rooms. We're all together. So we watched Community. We binged through Community together, which is a great stupid show. And now we're in the middle of Arrested Development. So we are watching that, and he goes to bed at like 11 o'clock. So then, by the time Kelly and I get in bed, it's late. So I would love to say I'm getting more sleep, but I'm not. Favorite dish? It's a white one in the pantry.
What's mine that I've made? Oh boy. Honestly, in summary, it's pasta. So I'm not supposed to have red sauce. I have acid reflux, TMI, but there you go. I'm not supposed to have like tomatoes, and I love tomatoes. So normally when I would make pasta, it'd have to be pesto or red sauce. I have made probably 15 different types of pasta. And I'm working out 3 times a day, so I need to fuel myself.
That's right. Justified. I like it. My favorite pasta is so simple. It's Greek. It's macaronia, which is really just pasta with brown butter and Greek cheese. That's it. You can't oversimplify it. It's just pasta, brown butter, and cheese. And I would eat bowls of it.
I found one because I can't really have like dairy. I can't have dairy either. I'm sorry.
I think it's goat cheese, so you might be able to have it.
So I could have that. Well, I made one last night that was chicken stock with almond milk instead of the heavy cream, and I was a little nervous how it would turn out. And then it had like mushrooms and chicken sausage and peas and onions, all that good stuff. But the sauce was amazing.
Awesome.
And friendly for Hillary.
And friendly for Aaron.
Yes, and friendly for all people involved.
Yeah, that's good. So we have gone over by at least 18 minutes from what we had said. And I don't want to keep it too long. Do you have any parting things? So one thing I thought that we might be able to do that's unique for this, I guess, would maybe just do a quick prayer at the end and keep the positivity going. So if there's anybody listening and you have a prayer request, let us know, and we'll add that into our message.
Yes.
But there's going to be 20 seconds before anybody types anything.
I know, because we have a little bit of a delay, but we can wait. I think for me, I would love to just pray for the positive energy that we have to be spread amongst our friends, family, colleagues, and for everybody to feel that and feel the faith of God that you and I have.
Yeah.
And also for continued healing, like the stories you told about.
Oh, and for people wondering, Stephen Furtick is a pastor out of a church called Elevation Church in North Carolina. He's not just some random dude. And if you're looking, Life Point Church is great. We go to EFCCL Church in Crystal Lake, which is great. Elevation Church has live streaming and everything on Sundays as well. And they just put out what I consider to be the most amazing song ever, called Rattle. And it just it jacks me up so much and just gives me so much energy. I think today I've listened to it 6 times. It's good.
Yeah, it's great. You have to.
It's good. All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to say a quick prayer. We're going to get out of here, and then we'll do this again. Hopefully we could do this once a week, you and I. I'm fine with that.
I'm just eating lunch by myself, so you and I can chat positivity all the time.
Maybe I'll put everybody else on a rotation, but you and I are like Monday.
Yeah, Monday lunch. Start your week right. Come be positive with us.
I think it's a thing. Okay. Mondays, we're gonna do it. All right. Kim says, for those struggling with health issues at this time. Yeah, agreed. All right. Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us all together digitally, virtually, giving us the technology, the resources, the ability to communicate with each other and enjoy each other. Help us to stay positive and know that you are in control of what's happening. Nothing is surprising to you. Nothing is shocking to you. Nothing's going to catch you off guard. Whatever this is, you intend it for a reason. So you're going to teach us, you're going to grow us, you're going to make us better. And it's going to be for our good and for your glory. And we pray for those people that are sick, that they would find healing. We pray for people that are stressed or depressed or hurting at this time or feeling lonely or anxious, that they would know that you're there with them, that your strength is there, that your courage is there, that your hand is on them and they're not alone. You got anything else?
No, that's perfect.
In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Hill, have a good day. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Hillary and I are going to be back next Monday.
See you Monday.
This coming Monday.
Yes.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.